Good morning, dear students. Welcome in social science class. Dear students, we have started our chapter Union Judiciary, the third organ of the government, where we have discussed the types of courts, civil courts, and criminal courts, integrated power of the Supreme Court, and the federalism flowchart of the federalism of the judiciary. Now, the next topic we have the Supreme Court of India is a very important topic from examination point of view or as a GK point of view. So here we have the Supreme Court was established on January 26, 1950. Yes, remember this date, but it on this date it was established, but exactly it started working in the new building from 1958. The Supreme Court is the highest court of the country with its headquarters at Delhi. It hears both civil and criminal cases. It also deals with the cases pertaining to the interpretation of the Constitution of India. It's not like that only civil cases and criminal cases are heard in the Supreme Court, but on the other hand, the new amendments or the changes which going on the Constitution, that matter can also heard in the Supreme Court. Next, we have the organization and composition. The Supreme Court comprises of a Chief Justice and 31 other judges who are appointed by the President of India in the consultation with the Chief Justice of India. You have to find out or you have to tell that who is the Chief Justice of India. In next live class, I'll ask these questions. How many how many judges are there in the Supreme Court? And who is the Chief Justice of India? Appointment of judges is done by President with the help of or consultancy with consulting or consultation with the Chief Justice of India. And one more, this one is your old one. This is my old book. In your book, there will be one important term, that collegium system. That is the official jury members of judges, those who are taking the different decisions if they required, and they are giving their opinions also in different decision making areas. The president consults other judges as he she deems proper. Normally, the senior most judge of the Supreme Court is also appointed for the Chief Justice of India. It's not like that the specific one or is separately, they are having the elections. Whosoever is the senior most judge can also be appointed for the Chief Justice of India also. But on the other hand, if the senior most judge is not there, then any advocate or lawyer who's having 10-year experience of their job, that person can also appointed for the CGI of the Supreme Court. Similarly, the other judges of the Supreme Court are also appointed by the President of India. Here we have, do you know, the highest court of India during the British period before independence? It was known as the Federal Court of India from 1937 to 1949, and in 1950 it's changed its new name, that was Supreme Court of India, and 26 January 1950 it was renamed Supreme Court of India, and it was located in the Parliament House here, Supreme Court of India. Next, we have the qualification of judges. What kind of qualification is required to be the Chief Justice of India? First, he or she should be a citizen of India. Second, a judge of the High Court courts for a minimum period of 5 years. Yes, they are having an experience to be a judge of 5 years in any high court, or any judge or any advocate in other courts, but having the experience of 10 years. A distinguished jury member also, just like I've already discussed that collegium system is also there. Any jury member in that collegium can also be qualified or applicable to be a member of or to be a judge of Supreme Court with the opinion or by the opinion of President. All right, next we have the tenure and removal from the office. What is the time period of judge of Supreme Court? And how it can be removed. It's very important. The removal from office very important. Here is we have, do you know, special majority means an absolute majority of total membership and two-third majority of members present and voting in each house is specially meant for the impeachment process, because one-third voting is required against the specific person if the impeachment process is going on. The Chief Justice and all other judges of the Supreme Court remain in the office till they attain the age of 65 years. Yes, it is. And once a judge is appointed, she cannot be removed from the office under normal circumstances. There will be a process that is called impeachment, just like we have discussed in previous chapter about vice president and about president. They cannot remove from their post in normal conditions, only with the process of impeachment. If question will be there how it can be removed, how the Chief Justice of India can remove from their post, you have to write this line definitely, then only you will get the marks. He she can removed only on the grounds of proved misbehavior, this one point you have to add, or incapacity to discharge functions, who are not able to do their work properly. That time also, in that situation also, they are able to remove from their post with the help of other people, those who are against the those who are giving the votes against the specific a person who is on the list. On the basis of a resolution passed by each house of the parliament by a special majority during the same session, this process is called the impeachment. All right. Next, we have salary and allowances. The Chief Justice of India is receiving the salary of at least around 2.8 lakhs per month, and other judges they are getting around 2.5 lakhs per month. Besides the allowances, they are provided many other facilities such as official residence, their free residence they are getting, travel allowances, health facilities, and so many other facilities they are getting, pension on retirement, also so many other facilities they are getting as a Chief Justice on service and after service also. Next, we have powers and functions of Supreme Court is very important. We have different four types of powers: original, appellate, advisory, and supervisory. Original is directly associated with the Supreme Court. Alright, and the next appellate is associated with the subordinate courts. Then only it comes to the Supreme Court. And advisory, they can advise to the lower courts, subordinate courts, and supervisory court keep a check on the lower courts. Now the first one is original jurisdiction. Original jurisdiction is exercised in cases. Original jurisdiction is exercised in cases which originate in Supreme Court, which means that they can heard in the Supreme Court only. Beforehand, they cannot heard in any of the court, and after that also they cannot heard in any of the court. Only such cases which are only heard in Supreme Court are known as original jurisdiction. Jurisdiction means a restricted area which is concerned with the specific authority. Just like cases we have between the union and one more states, if problems or issues are related with union government and other states, that issues are solved by Supreme Court. The issues related with union government and state or different other states, that issues also can be discussed by the Supreme Court, or issues between two or more than states, that issues are also discussed in Supreme Court directly without having other intermediate or subordinate courts. Interstate disputes regarding sharing of water and power also comes under this category, because mostly when the states having the disputes or issues, they are only associated with the water as well as the electricity. Next, we have appellate jurisdiction, means the word itself is showing its meaning appeal. Appeal means request. The first, a person who are associated with any filing the case, they are associated with subordinate courts, is exercised to hear appeals against the decision of the high courts and other courts regarding constitutional, civil, and criminal cases. This jurisdiction is applicable to cases involving interpretation. Courts and other courts regarding constitutional, civil, and criminal cases. This jurisdiction is applicable to cases involving interpretation of the Constitution. Interpretation means changes or amendments in the Constitution can also be done earlier in high courts, and then if we want change it, then it can go to the Supreme Court as well. Cases sent by the high courts and the criminal cases where a high court changes a decision of a lower court and gives a death sentence. The Supreme Court can also review its own decision taking or taken earlier. The Supreme Court having the power to change the decision of subordinate courts like High Court, then other subordinate courts. The Supreme Court having the power. Next, advisory jurisdiction or covers constitutional issues or matters of public importance. If the President of India desires to obtain the opinion of Supreme Court, any such opinion given to by the Supreme Court is not binding the President. Yes, whatever decision is taken by the Supreme Court, that is the final one, and even the President also not to bound to follow or to change such rules and regulations which imposed by the Supreme Court or which decision taken by the Supreme Court. Even president also bound to follow such rules and regulations. Next, we have supervisory jurisdiction, that is the supervision or check. The Supreme Court having a power to keep a check on the subordinate courts, so how they are working and what exactly the working process of these courts, whether it is of high court, whether it is other subordinate courts. So this was all about today's topic. Although we have discussed in live class, but many of the students are still absent and not joining the class regularly. So this was all about. Watch video carefully and read the chapter also. Thank you.